Hello, welcome once again to Living and Active. I actually wasn't going to do a video for quite some time. I wanted to focus on various other things, but this I wrote a post and did a bunch of pictures of this machine a little bit ago. This one came in today, along with one that arrived damaged. This is the 1912 Singer 66 Red Eye that I was writing the post about. I just put it on the bench and I got it in better light, and I brushed off the initial dust covering that was on it, and now I can actually see the extent to which the finish is just absolutely trashed. So I am literally shooting this to document the kind of damage that has been done to this thing. And I'm going to post it. Okay, now this is the front side. This is the side that faces whoever's using it as they use it. Sorry for the grunt. I had to get myself configured to try to move it with one half a hand. Uh, the surprising thing here is that there's still a needle in this thing. The bobbin cover is missing. Obviously, the bobbin is missing. The needle plate doesn't really look that bad. And from this side, it looks like, where it's just been sort of handled kind of roughly or whatever, and not much attention being given to just how it's handled. So you got your missing finish on the edges, whatever. It's all pretty standard. And then you start moving the piece around. You start looking at kind of the periphery of things. And you start seeing really, really impacted. I mean, this is grime. This is grease and grime. Looks like river silt. I mean, you'll see in a second when I flip this around so you can see the back of it. I really do believe this thing has seen a fairly decent depth of water at some point. Or lived outside in the rain for a little bit. The spool pin isn't rusted too badly, but that is rust. That's not like old oil or anything. That is actual rust. So, and we come to the hand wheel. Hand wheel definitely has corrosion on it, as does the clutch. And we come and we have to do the hand crank compatibility check, and that lug is there. So it will take a hand crank. It already has the spoked wheel, so I only need to add one piece, or one additional part to it, not two. So I did that dip for a very specific reason, and you'll see why in a second. But here you're coming in to see lots of damage to the enamel, to the finish. That's bare metal that has been rusted. You come down here and you can see just the grime, and you can see, if I catch the angle right, you can actually see how much of the finish is actually chipped away from the back side of this thing. I mean, this thing is pop marked. You come here, and this cover is supposed to be shiny shiny, shiny, shiny. It's not. Obviously, that screw is supposed to be shiny. This is all corrosion and rust. I think maybe, yeah, this is built up oil. Now, these machines this old, this is from 1912. Machines this old usually do have some kind of burnt on, built up machine oil thing, or covering, like a glaze almost um, of old dried on oil, just from being oiled and not really maintained all that well. And then if whoever had this was a smoker, then cigarette smoke would actually adhere to that oil, and that would actually expedite the detriment of the finish. What you're seeing here, these aren't design elements. These are gaps. These are holes in the finish. This is bare metal that my finger's touching. It's all rusted. All of this up here. The edges of this look, I mean, it really does look, in some ways, it really does look like there's something just wet that it just laid on forever. But that doesn't make sense because this edge, the edge itself, is in pretty decent shape, all things considered. The little mounting lugs here, they're not rusted, either one of them. And then you come to like right here, this hole. This is a bad angle. Excuse me. You can see, I mean, this is just, if I clean, if I were to put oil on this and clean it and then dry the oil off, you would see this is all bare metal. All of the void there is all bare metal. Bare rusted metal. So this thing has been through quite a lot. What I'm probably going to do, what I'm going to have to do, is after I get it cleaned up and make sure it works and everything, I'm going to have to take my high-speed mixture here, which is marine marine varnish mixed with a little bit of a thinner, and then I'm going to coat all of this with that, just to stabilize the finish that's on here, because I don't have the facilities, resources, the equipment, whatever, to do a complete restore where I strip all the paint off and then repaint it. And besides, that's not what I do. I'm here to stabilize and to rejuvenate and to conserve what I can, and let the machines actually bear the marks of their, in this case, 115 years worth of neglect and misuse. So yeah, that's how, that's the kind of shape that I get these in sometimes. The finish wise, this one is probably the one that's in the worst condition that I have. Yeah, now that I'm shooting across the bed, you can actually see how bad that far edge is. You can see the pitting and just the just general disrepair of the finish on the bed of this machine. But I haven't gotten into functionality or anything yet. I literally just took the chip brush and knocked the dust off of it, and I saw how bad the finish actually is. And I was like, well, I've got to get a shot of this. So when I fixed it, by the way, I might take some model enamel, some black, and lay in some of the larger areas that are missing before I put on the varnish coat. I might not. I might just clear coat the whole thing and just let it be that way. But yeah, this is in rough shape. When I start pulling off plates, especially this plate, I'm I suffer no delusions as to what I'm going to find. This is going to be a mess. But even for all of this, I do want to show this. Having briefly touched the hand wheel a couple times without actually doing a proper functions check, the wheel itself does move fairly freely. The clutch is not engaged, and you can tell that the clutch is not engaged because as I turn the wheel, the needle isn't moving. So I'm going to see if the clutch will engage. And no, it does not. It went a little bit, but now the wheel doesn't turn. Okay. So this is with the clutch partially engaged. It's not going to engage all the way, but now I can get a little bit of a wobble in the needle by moving the hand wheel, but now everything is absolutely stuck. This is my range of motion here. So yeah, there's lots to do with this one. So this one might get all nice and cleaned up and work very well, but I think it's still going to be ugly enough to the point where no one's going to buy it. So this might end up being a shop machine. I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. But yeah, so that's the thing. It's the video. It's the machine. This is what's on the bench today. And speaking of things that are in incredibly bad shape, you know, the reason why I'm turning more and more away from the community work of living in active life gatherings. I'm not physically turning away from them, but I don't have anywhere near the level of connection to making sure they succeed as I used to, because things are just crumbling way too quickly. It's if they work for a little bit, fine. If they don't work at all, then fine. I'm not going to put myself in a bind by trying to hang on to something that isn't going to matter before too long. So, and then the same thing with, like I've already said elsewhere on this channel, you know, the if war comes to our turf, then you know the YouTube, all of that goes away immediately. But until then, I will keep giving updates for cool little things to look at, things that I'm doing to keep my hands busy, my mind engaged, and to keep my heart from floundering in fear or desperation or despair or whatever. Choosing every day to believe that what God has said is true, what He has said He will do, that He is faithful and true, and that because of those things, I don't have anything to worry about. If I survive whatever's coming, then I don't have anything to worry about. If I don't survive whatever's coming, I'll be with the Lord, and I really won't have anything to worry about. So that's the thing. Hebrews 11:6. Without faith it is impossible to please God, because those who come to God must believe that He is a rewarder of those who seek Him. And until next time, if there is a next time, God be with you.